Welcome to Mavericks All Access. I'm your host, Andrew Rogers, in for Anna Bellinghausen. She's out in Tampa doing some other things right now, but here with the Omaha men's ice hockey team, Coach Gabinet to my left. We have Jesse Lansdell, forward for the team, defenseman Dom Vidoli. Guys, first off, thanks for joining me.
Yeah,
you guys excited?
Oh yeah, excited to be here. This is great.
Now tell me though, because it's a long break for you guys right now. Are you two the last of the bunch in Omaha, and that's why you got roped into doing this tonight?
Yeah, we're the few stragglers left. We got maybe like 3 or 4 guys left in town. Everyone headed out, so yeah, we're the last ones hanging around.
But the vets though on the team, so they saved like, you know, the experienced guys for the role. Well, I say vets, it's an age, not like longevity here in Omaha.
That's right. We've been around the block, so yeah, they saved us pros.
That's right.
Coach, let's start this thing off with you. How would you assess the start of the season?
Yeah, really happy with the first half. I think just from game one till now, lots of growth from the team, both individually and collectively as a team. So really happy with it. You know, lots of important games coming up here to play, but overall in the first half, we've really been pleased with how well the guys have been playing.
Yeah, I was joking with Austin, the SID for the team, before this thing even got kicked off, about the gauntlet of a schedule you guys have when you come back from break. I mean, just speak to that. Like, how tough is the NCHC?
Yeah, it's tough. It's definitely keeps you up at night sometimes, preparing and knowing the opponents you got to face. But we also love it. You know, we've talked as a group with the players, and those are games you get up for, knowing the schedule that we got coming up. So we'll start with a fun tournament in ASU to kick off the second half, then right on the road again at North Dakota, and then home versus Denver. So as you mentioned, lots of good opponents coming up here, but that's why we prepare properly and we'll use the break to our advantage, and we're looking forward to a tough second half schedule.
Now, is this everybody's first time in Arizona? Have you been there before? Is Arizona a new environment? Is it old?
For me personally, it's the first time going there.
So you're looking forward to it?
Yeah, definitely. And then playing hockey there is obviously a different experience as well. So yeah, really looking forward to it.
What about you, Dom?
I've been once for like family vacation when I was 10 or so. So it's it'll be new. It'll be new, and yeah, we're excited to play in the Mullet Arena. It's new rink there, so it'll be a fun trip for us for sure. Yeah.
Now, sometimes I run into athletes and they've never been on a plane before. Have you guys been on an airplane before?
First half of the year.
Yeah, definitely a few.
Are you guys scared of flying? Do you like flying?
I used to be terrified of flying. I used to like freak out, but now I kind of love it. I always go up. I chat with the pilots and stuff before and everything, give them a few comments and stuff. So yeah, I used to be really scared, but now I kind of like it.
All right, so you're walking down, you're walking to your gate, right? You're going onto the plane. You take a left turn when the stewardess is telling you to go right. What are you saying to the pilots?
I just go in there. I kind of give them a tap on the shoulder, then ask them how they're feeling, make sure they're all dialed in for the flight. So that's it. Just checking in. That's all it really is.
Is that what you do with the guys when you step into the locker room before a game? You're like, hey,
I go up, I shake the boys' hands, ask them how they're doing. Yeah, it's just part of the tradition.
First season for both of you guys wearing a Mavericks sweater, coming from Notre Dame and Ohio State. Jesse at Notre Dame. Take me through some of the differences from your previous stops to the one you're at now, and why you chose Omaha.
Do you want to start?
I can.
Loaded question for Jesse.
I can. I'll kick it off. Sorry, start with the first part again. What was the?
So what are the differences from stop 1 to stop 2 for you?
Yeah, I mean, obviously coming from Ohio State, a Big Ten state school, it's a bit of a different feel on campus. But with regards to the hockey, it's very similar. I was talking about it with some people, just the other week about some of the differences between the Big Ten and the NCHC, and it's not too different. Both conferences have they kind of have the real offensive skill teams run and gun, and then but then both conferences also have the structured defensive teams that kind of lock down and play heavy, and so there's not too much of a difference between the hockey wise, but obviously school wise it's a bit different, but Omaha's been great. I mean, there's whenever someone asks me why Omaha, it's like it's what's not to like about it. There's I say, like, I got out here early in the summer, and I got to explore all the restaurants and coffee shops and everything, get a feel for the city, and I love it. So what's not to like about it?
Go ahead, Jesse, your thoughts.
I would say one of the biggest differences for me is just like the day-to-day scheduling. At Notre Dame, we did the school up until 2 o'clock and then kind of had later practices in the day. Whereas here, it's kind of like you have your early morning classes, then you kind of head to the rink, and then you have your choice of working out before or after practice, and then we obviously get fed at the rink, which is a huge plus that we didn't have at Notre Dame as well. So that's pretty awesome. And then guys will have their night classes and stuff. And I guess another difference is just last few years, living with teammates, and then this year kind of made the jump to living with the girlfriend in an apartment. So that's definitely been a little bit of an adjustment. The place is a little cleaner this year than it has been in years past.
I can only imagine.
Yeah, so that's been a big plus. And then also have a 100-pound golden doodle living with us now, so I got a little son running around. So yeah, so that's been another added responsibility, but it's been fun so far.
Did you play with Chase Primo?
Yeah, I did last year, 1 year.
So did he tell you a little bit about Omaha before you left Notre Dame?
Yeah, well, I kind of talked to him more so when I started going into the portal and started talking to Coach Gabinet there and kind of feeling things out with him and kind of getting a better feel, because I really didn't know too much about schooling or like the program much. And then obviously Pavanka played here last year, and it was actually kind of funny because I was pretty close with him at Notre Dame, and throughout the year I would FaceTime him even before I was even considering transferring or anything, and he was just like telling me like, oh man, it's great here, like it's so different, and these are all the things I love, and it's kind of like it's just a really good change from the last 4 years what we had there. So he was super positive about his experience last year, and it was only halfway through the year, and I had no idea what I was doing. So he had all these great things to say, and it wasn't like he was being a salesman because he didn't know that I was looking to go elsewhere. So I think that was a pretty big helping point to just have that relationship with a guy I trust, and he was in a very similar situation to me. So it was really good to have him to talk to things about.
Coach, what drew you to these two guys?
Yeah, well, both actually. It's kind of funny now with the portal a little bit and stuff. A lot of these guys, I think we recruited Dom actually in junior, and he made the wrong mistake. And went somewhere else.
Bernie gets in my ear about that.
Yeah, didn't pick us 5 years ago. But yeah, so we knew Dom beforehand and knew his capabilities and just what type of players, and always really liked him even back from his prep school days. So we knew him from a long time there. So it's nice when you kind of have a familiarity of the player when you watch throughout their careers. And same with Jesse. We'd known about him a little bit there. And similar to Pavanka, when he came in the portal, we talked to him about him and obviously had a great experience with Jake and knew what Jesse brung. And just watching him play him, he's an everyday player, had a good program for a long time. And so we were definitely attracted to him in that one. So you really just got to, do your homework and talk to, whether it's your players or if you've watched them play before, and get a feel for the player and the individual, and then recruit them, and hopefully they choose Omaha.
Yeah, Dom. Way to go.
Yeah. No, they've been in my ear about that plenty. So
Coach told me that's why you didn't play against Ohio State this year. It wasn't because you were hurt.
That's right.
Because of something else.
Yeah, I know, a little punishment for it.
No.
Wow, Coach. It's if you look at the schedule this year, at least the first half of the schedule, it's kind of been the year of the split, right? You go into Friday and you come out with an L, but Saturday you do a great job of responding as a team and being able to leave either location A with a win or Baxter with a win. Is that just a credit? Like when you think about the split, is that just a credit to how tough the NCHC is as a conference, or is that actually something that you guys could alter? Whether it's a mindset thing or a readiness level thing to open a series?
Yeah, I think first off, I started giving the guys credit, to respond, I guess, so to speak, and find a way to not, get 2 losses in a row is a really positive thing and a tough thing to do. And I think also you have to kind of know the situation again. If not that we don't want to win every single game. Obviously, that's the plan, and that's what you work for and prepare for. But when you're at a place like Denver or even Minnesota Duluth, and you find ways to get a split out of the weekend, I think also you have to take some pride in that's not a bad road weekend as well. So definitely, you want to be getting both those wins all the time, and you prepare for it. And I think our guys do a great job of doing that. And for whatever reason, sometimes maybe a Friday or Saturday goes a little bit differently, but you want to have the same mindset. And then obviously if you are successful on Friday, you want to back that up with a good game on Saturday. And if you're not successful on Friday, you want to make sure that you respond accordingly on Saturday. And and been really proud of the guys' effort level all season long. Even on some of those Friday night losses, when you look back, you look at the effort and the preparation, it's all there, and some of those other things out of your control at times.
Well, when you speak to effort, Jesse, kind of the tough guy of the team, the enforcer, find your way into the box. He's already grinning because he knows, and Dom gives him a tap because he knows. But that's just kind of you, right? That's just always kind of been who you are, or is that something you developed later on in your hockey career, being kind of that tough guy on the ice?
Yeah, it's something I've always kind of been like. As soon as I started playing hockey and you could hit, I kind of started to enjoy it.
You're like, hey, I like this.
More, yeah. And for me now, it's just kind of like one of my skill sets of something I can do to help defend. There's a lot of like skilled players in college, and it's not easy to defend them with your legs and stick all the time. So sometimes you have to step up and try and get a piece of them. And then a lot of the time that you have your team to back you up, and you at least slow them down, and someone else could help defend them. So I think that's just kind of one of my assets that I can help bring to the team. And obviously with that, it comes, you got to, kind of pick your time. And that's something I've been working on, especially in my college career and a little bit at my end of my junior career, just being a little more selective with those hits, and kind of being smarter with that. So it's an ongoing process, but I think it's a big asset to any team I play on, and just kind of, helping intimidate other teams and kind of get them off their game and a little frustrated with me.
Dom, now tell me this. You're the oldest on the team, right?
No, I'm not
No?
actually. I think we got a couple guys that are older, but
aren't you almost 25?
I am almost 25. This guy, I think he's got me.
The oldest.
Are you the oldest on the team?
Yeah, me and Seth are the 298s on the team.
Wow.
Yeah.
At least you guys were born in the 90s, right? And not 2000, baby like Tanner. What is he, 04?
Yep.
Yeah, he's an 04.
Yeah, we're like the fathers of the team. Gotta look after.
Well, you guys got a lot of games under your belt, right? So how has that kind of helped this team this season, knowing that, Coach goes into the portal, he grabs two guys with a lot of experience that, can kind of help mold the younger generation?
Yeah, I mean, that's, I think, one of the cool dynamics of our team is that we do have that mix of, we have some older guys who have been around the block and, lots of experience in college hockey, and then some young skill. And when you kind of have that, when you have that dynamic of different guys that can contribute in all different ways, I think that that can lead to a lot of success. And so, yeah, I mean, we do play part of that role, and just in helping out the younger guys and whatever it is, it's just like helping them adjust to the daily schedule of balancing classes in college and with practices and things like that. And it's not just us teaching. Like I learn from those guys too. Like I sit there and I watch Tanner toe drag guys left and right in practice and stuff, and I'll pick his brain on things. So it's a two-way street. And but yeah, it's fun to play the role in kind of mentoring some of the younger guys.
So, fellas, I want you to take a moment and just kind of look around the room here. Like, take in the surroundings, take in the atmosphere, because you guys get to do that every single night you play at Baxter Arena. How special is it playing in front of these diehard fans, these diehard Maverick hockey fans? And, what's it like to feel like so beloved after a win when you guys step back out into the concourse and sing with the fans?
Yeah, it's a pretty cool experience. Like you go out there and play, and it seems like a pro environment, but then you have those relationships with the fans, and you get to do all that cool stuff that you don't usually get in the pro game, and it kind of seems like a really good college atmosphere in that aspect. But then you have so many people, and then just being here tonight, obviously a great crowd, and kind of more intimidated to be here talking than playing in front of 7,000 or 8,000 on Friday or Saturday. So it's been great so far, and we're getting such great crowds and just great people around here in Omaha. So it's really been nice getting to know some of the fans.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the coolest places that I've ever played. Like, obviously going on the road, you get to experience other atmospheres in college hockey, and then coming here, it was like, I remember the first game being out there, I'm looking around, it's like, it's seriously, it's one of the coolest places to play in college hockey. How many sellouts we've had this year, and just the energy and the passion of the fans. You can't help but get up and get excited for every game, every weekend. And I mean, we're so lucky to have people come out and support us in the way that they do. Coach,
what about you? I mean, you've been in hockey your entire life as a player and a coach. Like, what do these fans mean to you?
Yeah, and just first off, before I answer that question, just back to your original question about Jesse and Dom, just adding some experience to the lineup. I think one of the things that I've really noticed as a coach, just how calm. I deal with the forwards up front, so just even Jesse, like even in the thinking back to the Denver weekend, it's a high intensity game, 1-goal game. I think they were a top 5 team, and just hearing Jesse talk on the bench and how he conducts himself on the ice, I think that's really, really valuable to our team, to have guys with that experience and just know how to behave in certain situations. So just wanted to add that, because I think both those guys did a great job doing that. And obviously the fan base is, I know how special Omaha is, and not only as a fan base, but as a city and community. And like you said, you got this many people on a Thursday night coming out to support us, and just like they do in the games. And I really think, our administration's done an awesome job getting Baxter Arena to, I think, really close to capacity every single night. And you can feel that energy on the bench, right? You can look around. Even as a coach, you're so focused on the game, but you do find those times where you're looking around, you can feel the noise, or that shootout win on Saturday when Mueller scored there, or Simon makes a save. It's a pretty special place to be a part of. So, can't thank the fans enough, and it's a special place to live and play. And as you heard these guys describe it, everybody feels like that in our team.
Feel the noise, make some noise. Am I right? Everybody out there, am I right? Do you guys like the make some noise guy? He's kind of weird.
The make some noise guy. I don't even know if I know the make some noise.
There's this
make some noise.
Dude, there's this MC in the arena, and he is so annoying. All he says every single time is make some noise.
He's the energy guy. You need that.
Yeah,
you need the energy guy.
It's just crazy. He's absolutely nuts. No, it's me. That's me. Yeah. Matt Puck, right? Yeah, you guys.
See that? I had your back.
They're my friends. Yeah, my guy.
I had your back.
Yeah.
I didn't even know it was you.
Yeah. You know what? You go to war with Dom.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
I'll go to bat for you.
My man. Okay, let's keep the fun going, because I had some fun hypothetical questions drawn up to get to really know you three, like maybe get you out of your comfort zones. Coach, my first one for you is, you are just all business. Like every time I see you, and now granted, it's more times than not, it's before a game, it's right after a game, but you are head forward, you don't veer off the path. But I'm like, there has to be like some moment that these guys caught you when your guard was off. Mm-hmm. Like you were doing something that, it's just not like, suit and tie Coach Gabinet that we see on the bench. Do you have a moment that like you kind of got caught not being Coach Gabinet, and do you guys have anything you can share?
You want me to start first?
Yeah, you start first. I want to try to get inside of Coach when he's not
Coach. First
off,
I don't like ties, and I don't put it on until about 3 minutes before the game. So that's one thing. But I'm trying to think.
Austin told me earlier he caught you, wherever Austin is, he told me he caught you doing yoga one time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I'm like, Coach doesn't strike me as a yoga guy, but that's cool. It's something I didn't think.
Probably trying to de-stress. But maybe I should try some of that before a Friday night game. Might help a record on Friday nights. But it's, I think when you're just like the players, right? Like I think when you're not in work mode, you're not in work mode. It's time to relax and have some fun, and I love to do that. But when when you see me during a game or practice, it's kind of go time. So it's time to be serious and dialed in and ready to go. So, but I don't know if these guys have caught me.
What do you guys got? Anything in the short year?
I don't know. I don't think they got.
When we were in Duluth, we were doing a pre-scout video, and we were doing like a face-off. We were pre-scouting their face-offs, and they started running these like weird plays that you don't see very often. Yeah. And Gabs is telling us like, okay, if they do this play with the D here, we gotta have a forward here, and it was like super confusing. And then,
it's like the Herb Brooks moment in Miracle, right? Where he's like drawing up a play, and everybody's just like,
if they do this small tweak, we need a guy here, and then he kept switching, and he was like testing us, and then all of a sudden he just like starts giggling, and the whole room just starts laughing, and I think that was just kind of a moment where it was all business, and then he kind of realized like, okay, this is pretty funny.
It's a good story.
Yeah,
that's good for me, Coach. I needed something like that to know that you're not all business all the time.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah.
I don't know if I've caught him doing anything. The only thing that I can think of is whenever he hops on the ice for practice, he'll like get out there, and you kind of see like the old player Gabs in him. He gets the edges going, he starts dangling stuff and center ice, and so he kind of switched from coach to player for a second or two. He's getting himself dialed in for practice. So
meanwhile, Coach Hambrook's chopping up the ice with his bad hands. Yeah.
Yeah. Gab still has the nice hands and everything. So you can see the player in him too.
See, I was kind of hoping like there'd be a story like you thought you were alone in the arena. You're like singing down the hallway, and then out comes Dom, and you just kind of like pause, and you guys are like big eyeballs toward one another, and you're like, never speak at this moment.
Yeah, no, I haven't done that.
So, doesn't let the guard down.
Yeah, he doesn't let it down.
More so at home. Home Gabs is a different Gabs.
All right.
Buddies when you're buddies, it's a different story.
Behind closed doors.
You bet.
Well, we'll leave those stories behind closed doors.
Probably smart.
Now, okay, for the guys here, if you guys could swap positions, okay, with any player on the team for a game, who would it be, and why would you choose that position? Like, does anybody have like the stones to be Simon or Seth?
That's the first one that came to my. I'd have to think about this for a second or two, but the first one that came to my mind would be Simon. Like I just want to put my self in the position of the cat. I'm trying to think of anyone else that would be fun. The first thing that comes to my mind is Simon, though. It's just the way he's dialed in the net every game. Yeah, I think it'd be fun to experience that. But
I would just switch to D and then just worry about making a good breakout pass and then watch the forwards go do their thing out there. Sit on the blue line, maybe rim a puck.
So those guys
behind.
are just resting?
Yeah, let the forwards go to work.
Don't let Victor or Griffin, anybody like that hear you. Oh, wait, there's Dom.
Yeah, exactly. I'll switch positions with Dom, yeah.
Last practice, we switched positions a little bit. Was thinking it was kind of fun to put the forwards back at D, and you can hear the beaks going back and forth to move the puck, and it's pretty fun.
Yeah, well, it's fun. And all the forwards like to get in your ear and talk about how easy D is, and they're like, all you do is rim pucks. And the first time, one of the forwards is back on D, they go back to break a puck out, and they rim it right away. It's like they do the same exact thing as us. So, yeah.
Well, speaking of chirps, this is a great segue into what I had planned for you guys. But first, I want to hear what all three of you, because Coach, you've played for a while. I wonder if there's even a chirp that you remember from way back when you played, or if there's a new chirp you're like, gosh, that's a good one. What's the best hockey chirp you've ever heard? Keep it PG. We've got some kids in the house.
Best hockey chirp, yeah. PG. I know some of the guys on the team. I thought I hadn't heard this one before. I think it's kind of funny. Some of the guys like to go up to other guys on the other team, and they tell them that they put creamer in their coffee. Like, you drink your coffee with creamer in it, don't you? And guys are just like, some guys just kind of look at them. They're like, what? And other guys are like, no, like I drink my coffee black. They
get defensive.
Yeah, some guys get defensive. So yeah, that one's kind of funny.
Doesn't Jimmy put the most creamer in his coffee?
Oh, I actually have a Jimmy story. Yeah, he had a coffee sitting, like an iced coffee type latte thing in his stall this morning. And I was like, oh, this looks good. Like, try a sip from Scooters. And it was like sweeter than a milkshake. It was like, it was disgusting.
It's legit,
I took a sip and I was like, Jimmy, what is that? He's like, it's good, hey? Like, no.
He gets dessert with that's his coffee.
Yeah, it's like a little bit
dessert
of coffee.
in the morning.
Yeah. But back to the chirps. I can't remember when I heard this. It had to be 5 or 6 years ago in juniors, but someone went offside, and I heard, like, on my team, someone went offside, and I heard one of the other guys skate by and go, "That's okay, man. Like, new rule. They just put it in last night." Like, offside. So now, like, the last 5 years, when there's been like a bad offsides on the other team, I'll just skate by and I was like, "Hey, don't worry about it, man. New rule."
Sometimes just the easiest thing becomes the best chirp.
Yeah, and it'll just like fluster them. Like, what an asshole or something.
Coach, what about you?
Oh man, it's been a long time, but maybe something along the lines. I can't remember if it said to me, probably said to me, but one guy, I can't remember if it was me or one of our teammates, one guy said, "I beat up guys bigger than you on the way to fights." I thought that was pretty good back when.
That's a good one.
Back when there's lots of fighting. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so you guys have a lot of chirps. You've heard a lot over the years. So I have a list in front of me, and I want to read some of these chirps, and I want you guys to tell me if you know what they mean.
Oh, boy.
And it was just like a top 20 list. I grabbed 8 of them that I thought were great, but I'm like, maybe they're thinkers, maybe they're not. Yeah. Maybe we do a little coach versus players here, give them the advantage because they haven't had as much run as you, Coach,
sure,
right? Sure. Yeah, you're the big brain in the room.
That's right.
All right, so I'm going to read you a chirp, and then you guys tell me what you think it means, and then I'll tell you if you're right or wrong.
Cool.
Sound good? All right, there are easier ways to get tickets to watch me play, pal.
There are easier ways
to get tickets to watch me play, pal. What do you think, like, if that was a chirp said to you, what are they meaning by that?
Eat your whiskey cheese. What, like he's just sitting on the bench or something? Like
Yeah, like you're on the bench. Like
Yeah, pretty close. They're riding the bench, right? Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
so very good, very good.
Yeah.
Let's maybe start off a little easier. All right, how about your 10-ply, bud?
your 10 ball.
Oh, I've heard that one. That's kind of an old one, isn't it? Just like
block of wood kind of thing. Or,
Nope, not that,
doesn't
Coach.
it just mean you're like weak or scrawny or?
You're soft.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
10-ply like toilet paper.
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Yeah. So I thought that was a pretty good one.
That's a good one. I haven't heard that one before.
All right, I'll give the edge to the players there, Coach.
sure.
They're up 1-0 on you.
Oh, okay.
All right, how about go relax with a scented candle in a bubble bath?
Oh, I mean, takedown's kind of
It's a
self-explanatory.
Thursday night. That's usually a normal Thursday night for Dom.
That's right. Yeah.
There it is. Yes. Yeah.
Nightly tradition.
Yeah. It has something to do with what you would say to a hothead. So So Coach.
Calm down a little bit.
Yep. Calm down.
Okay.
I'm gonna give it to Coach because you guys didn't speak up. And Jesse was
fire.
like, "This is
I
me."
I caught a stray bullet there.
Ricochet.
All right. How about soccer practices tomorrow?
Someone's diving.
Nice. Yep.
Yeah.
Flopper.
Nice.
Yep.
Yep.
We
That's
see a
good
few
one.
of those in our conference.
Yeah. Have you? Not on this team though.
No, we don't.
No.
Gosh, no.
We play an honest game with some integrity.
How about I've seen better hands on a digital clock?
Just can't handle the puck.
No, actually,
What?
not that. It's kind of along those lines, but that's not like the reference that was used for, at least in the example. So, Coach, what do you think? I'll give you a second
See
guess
better
here.
hands on a digital clock. I would just say like bad hands, like a kind of similar answer.
It's kind of like that, but they used it in like a shooting example. So, like when they were getting a one-timer.
Okay.
So a swing
Throw
and
us
a
a
miss.
point there. I think we got that.
I mean, maybe we'll give you like a tie, like
All right.
St. Cloud State.
Yeah, it'll wash. It'll wash.
All right, I hear they're hiring a Zamboni driver.
Like not good
Time,
enough to play hockey.
yeah, time for a change of career.
No, not that. Not change of career.
I just said, not good enough to play hockey. Like you should rather than hockey be a
Yeah, no, so that was just a guy that gets no ice time. So
okay.
if he would be a Zamboni driver, he'd have at least 6-7 minutes during intermission.
Okay. Okay.
Are the guys still up 1-0? Or who's keeping score? Cam? No? Do we lose count?
I think we're up.
That's all right. All right. I've got two more here. What's that? Roll down your window. I can't hear you.
That's if someone's wearing a visor.
Yeah.
Yes, and in college hockey, it'd be Victor Mancini, right?
That's right. That's right. It's good style though. The fishbowl's good style.
Yeah, I like it. I like the good. Would you rather have the fishbowl or the cage?
Well, I go cage because the bubble fogs up. The bubble, so that can get annoying. Guys are constantly trying to wipe it down, and like the sprays don't really work. So that's how I go cage. But if I'm going off style, I'd go for the bubble for sure. I think it looks sweet.
The bubble's a lot more upkeep.
Yeah.
I've worn one the last 3 years.
Yeah,
it kind of like sucks to take care of because if you like get into a battle or like someone's stick goes across, you get like a big slash across, or like your hair comes down and like it'll be just like sweat spray all over, so you can't really see. It's a lot of work. I don't recommend them, but they are good stuff.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, guys.
Against it.
My last one for you. Switch to Geico.
Switch to insurance. Something insurance.
What's their saying?
15 minutes can save you 15% or more on car insurance.
That was impressive. I don't know if that was relevant.
Yeah, I don't know.
Nice work, though.
Yeah, thanks.
I'll give him the point just for the.
Yeah, just for remembering that. Any ideas? Any guesses?
Switch to Geico. I don't know.
No idea.
Yeah, just switch it up. I don't know.
This is what you'd say to a goalie to save more.
Oh, okay.
I've heard one where I've seen coupons save more than you.
Yes, that's a good one, too. I saw one, too, and, oh, man, I hope I don't butcher this. It was something about, like, I've seen more scratches than a lottery ticket or on a lottery ticket.
You've been scratched more than
Yeah, you've been scratched more than a lottery ticket. See, I butchered it. Yeah. Nice work, though, Jesse. You got them all banked up, though, because you...
Rebound.
Yeah, like, but you're all about saying chirps on the ice. Have to be.
I've settled down in my old age, but When I was younger, I was all about it, getting into it after whistle. It's kind of like Skippy, but
Yeah, I'll say I think he's got the best one-liners on the team though. Listening to Jet, he's quick.
Give me your best one-liner.
Oh well, we can't put him on the.
I have to now. You can't say that.
Well,
and
no,
then
like
hear it.
not like one.
Are
But
they in the moment?
But like quick-witted.
usually in
Yeah,
the
it's like
moment.
So he's just witty.
context based. Yeah.
Do you pride yourself on being witty in the moment? I would.
I just enjoy it. It's funny.
I think it's good. I think it's good skill. Yeah, I think it's great skill.
I usually go at it with the Frenchies on our team, LeMay and Guive, and one of them like fan on a one-timer. I ask him if they want to try my stick because, well, I usually say it to Guives because he's a righty, so ask him maybe he's a lefty. So
You're using the wrong hand, right?
Yeah. That usually gets under their skin a little bit. They don't really like it, but
I think the
understand
best.
it.
I think the best one was we were playing baseball before the season, and Ray Fust was up to bat, and Jesse convinced Fusty that he had a right-handed bat in his hand, so when he needed the left-handed, and Fusty's like looking around, he's like looking for the other bat.
Yeah. And every time he would go up, he'd ask me if he had the right-handed bat, the proper-handed bat. I was like, yeah, you're good.
What a guy. What a guy. You're so mean.
Picking on the Europeans that hadn't really played baseball before.
Yeah, he just likes to pick on people. That's okay, though.
It's good. Yeah,
it
it's
goes
good.
back to his role on the team, right?
Yeah.
You need it. Yeah, you need it.
Pick on the opposition. Now, okay, keeping these good vibes, the good energy alive here. My favorite thing to ask athletes is like, what is their favorite like coachism? That like coach either Gabinet or in this case Coach Gabinet or their coach, I would ask, if we were talking men's basketball, I'd ask like, what's your favorite Crutchfieldism? But for this case, Gabinetism. What's your favorite Coach Gabinetism? Like the thing that he says, the thing that he does. What's your favorite thing?
My favorite is when he comes in and goes, here we go.
That's the classic.
How's everyone doing? Good. Here we go.
Yeah.
You do answer your own questions a lot now that he says that. Like, how's everybody doing? Good? Like, before they can even respond.
Let me answer that. I just like to bring the juice. I like to bring the juice.
I'm all for it.
It's time to work, baby. We got to get going. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think that's got to be like the most classic one is he comes into the locker room just fired up and like he'll give one like here we go and then like the rest of the locker room will echo it like yeah here we go. And it's just like at this point maybe it's conditioning like maybe he's doing like a little psychology experiment but like that just like dials us in then we're ready to go for practice. So yeah, just like the little here we go. It's like whoa like now it's time.
Well, see Coach, if I could chime in here.
Sure.
Every time I get the chance to talk to Coach, I try to get him to say the word process. That's my favorite thing that Coach says because your Canadian accent really comes out with that word because you don't say process, you say
process.
Yes, emphasis on the O. So whenever we would go in for media sessions, especially when I was working at the university as a video guy. That was my goal every single day. It was either a today matters or a process. Yeah. And I tried to get as many out of Coach as I could. So the questions were always swayed toward like skill so that he could say like trust the process.
Yeah. There you go.
What about these guys, Coach? Like if you have any juice on them because they're kind of picking on you. You can even pick on me for like I'm an easy target.
No. Well, Dom for sure. Easy one to go out. No, but you know what, Dom? I think maybe he might be the next Make the Noise guy. He loves to.
I'll coach you up.
Yeah, you know what? Dom's always.
Here we go.
Dom is always talking and bringing juice, and I think that's a good thing. To be honest, I think it's much needed. We have a long season, and so the guys that have the great energy and like to get things going. I think, and he likes to talk. And I think the guys like it when he talks. So it's a lot of prompting from each other a little bit there. So it's
the guys think I talk too much. They give me a shot clock whenever it's my time to talk in the locker room. Like especially the Frenchies, they start pitching in. They're like, "You got time limit, like shot clock," So they think I spew too much.
Yeah.
We always joke too. Whenever he gets interviewed, it's like next thing you know, he's giving the interview. Like he starts asking the questions. You're like, "Okay, Dom, settle down."
I just reversed it on him.
He actually changed his flight to be here tonight.
I was actually supposed to fly out earlier today. I was just stoked that people were voluntarily coming to listen to me. I don't have to trap people into conversation like in the locker room.
Oh boy. Okay, let's ask. We'll ask one more fun question, then we got some fan questions for you guys as well. So let's see here. I'll ask one to Coach and one for the players. So Coach, starting with you. Imagine you have the ability to clone any player on this current team to be on your teams for the rest of time, okay? Who would you choose, and why would you choose that player?
Ooh, this would be interesting to hear who the players think I would choose. Let's start with them.
Okay.
Okay, pick your answers.
He's just buying time.
No, I
You got him locked up?
Yeah, mine comes. I got one right away.
Okay, who do you think?
Jack Randall.
Okay, what about you?
I mean, that's a pretty safe guess.
Yeah.
I mean, Simo would be another very easy one.
Yeah,
He just brings it every day. Like, you know what you're going to get from Simo.
Yeah, so I'd probably – that's a tough question. We got so many good answers for that to be
Way to go, Coach. That was a safe way. That was a safe way to start.
I love all these guys.
But you know what? Put the wall up here. Now you can be like one-on-one with me. Let's just be honest.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe, again, it is tough to be honest. It's tough to single guys out. But you know what? Jack Randall, to me, is a guy that I recruited really hard when he came back from Michigan and spent a lot of time recruiting him and remind him of that quite often. It took a long time to get him. But just a guy that's, very consistent, physically, mentally, practice-wise, game-wise, and I think just a great role model for everybody to, that you got guys coming in, and if you can have leaders that do things like that, because I think it's a great example for other guys. So definitely Randall would be top of my list. Yeah.
All right. Players, now to you guys. Let's kind of keep it with the same theme here. If you could have any historical, it could be your favorite too, hockey player as a teammate, okay? Somebody on the team this year that could help you win a national championship.
Oh.
Who would it be? Like, and don't just like.
Oh, not just locker room guys, or.
Yeah. Just any historical teammate, maybe your favorite player growing up, like somebody that you'd want to play with, but also that would be like the perfect fit for the team. So like an easy answer could be like, I'm choosing Wayne Gretzky because he scores a lot, right? He gets a lot of points, but he may not be the perfect fit for this team. So maybe try to like marry those two together.
I would do Paul Bissonnette.
That's what I was thinking.
All right.
That's what I was thinking. Biz Nasty.
Good locker room guy. Apparently, even when he didn't play, when he was scratched in the NHL, he would come in and play tunes for the guys before the game and stuff. So just like obviously a great teammate and someone probably everyone loved playing with. Obviously wasn't the best player, but played a role and was a great teammate. So I think that's always been someone that would be like, wow, that'd be pretty cool to like get to know or be on a team with. So.
What about you, Dom? You sticking with that answer too?
No, I'll give another. I would say that's the first thing that came to my mind too was Paul Bissonnette. Yeah, just for the locker room part of it. Gosh, I'm trying to think of another good one for college hockey. I mean, other things that come to mind, I guess you can go with the other spitting chicklets guy, Ryan Whitney. I mean, he's funny in the locker room too and was a great college hockey player. Or like the other one that comes to mind is Paul Correa, just because he ripped up college hockey. Like having him on your team as a defenseman, I would just like go back and just look for him, give him the puck, and let him go into end. So
secondary assist.
Playing with him, phantom secondary assist from the D zone. Like that's what A
lot of points for Dom Vidoli.
That would be a treat. I'd be begging Gabs to put me out on the ice. But that's probably what I'd go with.
Yeah, good answer. Okay, let's get some fan questions in to you guys before we wrap this thing up. Coach, we'll start with you. We'll do this question from James. What is your favorite fan moment you've had in your time coaching the Mavericks?
Favorite fan moment? You know what? I enjoy seeing the celebration after with the guys. I think that's pretty special when they get to go out there and see the guys. And I enjoy seeing our guys interact with the fans. I think I've told the guys quite a bit that the feedback that I get from the fans, just them taking the time to meet people and say hi to people, means a lot. And I also think that we got unbelievable guys. So whenever they get a chance to interact with our guys, I think they become even bigger fans. So I just think seeing that daily, interaction post game or during events where you're seeing the players interact and getting a chance to see what I get to see on a daily basis with our guys, I think it's pretty cool.
Jesse, Ava wants to know if you can describe one of your pregame routines or rituals.
Yeah, I don't really have like that many rituals or routines. I kind of typically do the same things, but I wouldn't really call it a ritual. I typically take about an hour nap and then come to the rink and kind of take my stick or whatever, ride the bike. But I've been kind of in years past. We've usually played about 3 or 4 sewer games, which is like kind of keep up soccer games with most of the team before warm up. Then I would usually like to get at least one win during that. This year it's been a little harder because we only play one game, so you only have one shot to do it. So that was like I always like wanted to get at least one win in the past. Now it's just kind of like whatever. I just enjoy playing it. So That's kind of what I have for that one.
All right, Dom, what advice do you have for aspiring hockey players looking to improve your game? This question comes from Ryan.
Advice for, I would say the biggest thing, work on your skating. Work on your power skating, your edge work. I think that's one of the most important things is moving up through the levels, being able to skate well. And then the other part of it is just consistency in your work. Just every single day or whatever it is, like whenever you have free time or something, just find something to work on. Like I was younger, I would just run around the house with a hockey stick, and I'd drive my parents crazy because I'd be gashing up the walls and stuff. But,
like an authentic hockey stick, not like a shinny hockey stick.
Yeah,
right?
well, that's great too. Yeah, you play you play shinny with your buddies too and stuff. But yeah, I'd run around in the basement and stuff. Like my parents had to wait until until I got older to redo our basement because we had a wall that I would just rip balls at and stuff, and a couple holes in the drywall. So I just say in the consistency and just have fun with your training.
Coach, I think this is a great question from Trevor, but how do you approach individual development within a team setting?
Yeah, I think it's really important. I think you got to spend the time and try to figure out what each individual needs and where they're at and kind of meet them where they're at. I think that's one of the, I know for me as I've matured as a coach or tried to improve as a coach is that, oftentimes, the student hasn't learned, you haven't taught until they've learned. And I think sometimes you got to be patient with that. I think today with video and everything, I can show Jesse one thing on video and expect him that he's got to have it like that, where that's not the case. That's not reality. You got to allow them to have opportunities to practice it over and over again. So I think just being patient on some of that stuff is really important with their individual opponents, and then also just really knowing what that individual needs and then finding ways to work on it. And then just the last thing I would say was just getting their feedback. I think sometimes as coaches you have a plan, but I think it's really important to communicate with the players and find out what they feel they need to work at and what they're trying to work at. And I think when you get their feedback and their ownership, then you're working together towards a common goal and good things happen. So that's what I would say.
Jesse, you kind of gave us a little bit of insight into this already, but the question here we have from David is, how do you balance the demands of hockey with other aspects of your life? So whether that's a student to athlete approach or even just for you, I mean, you had mentioned that, you live with a girlfriend, you have a 100-pound dog. How do you just balance being a person off the ice and then an athlete in the locker room?
Yeah, I think it's just kind of managing your time and just making sure, when you're at the rink, you're not thinking about what you have to do in school or when you're in school, what you have to, if you have to get groceries that night or what you have to cook that night. So it's kind of just carving out enough time to do the things you need to do each day. But then when you're at the rink, you're 100% focused on what you need to be focused on, and then you're kind of giving it your all in every aspect. So I think it's just understanding that, certain things need to be done each day and just ensuring that you have the time to do that and just making sure you're present in the moment. And
Dom, how do you handle pressure situations or crucial moments in a game? This question from Emma.
I would say that you kind of, I think some of the, we talk about this in the locker room too, it's you don't, I think it's like a Navy SEAL saying where it's you don't rise to the occasion, but you fall to your training. And so I think that, or something like that. Sorry if I butchered it, but I think that the confidence and the calmness of pressure situations just comes from your reliance on, or your understanding that all right, I've put the work in and I've prepared and you don't think much in the situation because you just you're ready to go and you've done all the preparation work, and so there's nothing really to worry about in those situations.
I'll ask you a few more questions. If we have any fan questions in-house as well, you can feel free, raise your hand and just shout them out. Coach, I'll go back to you though here. This could be a loaded question. Let's go with this. Can you share a memorable coaching moment or success story you've had as a coach?
Yeah.
This could be a recruiting success story. This could be, a game success story, a season success story, anything.
Yeah, that's a loaded question. Yeah, that's a lot. I mean, obviously, just because I think I feel like there's a lot of different ones I could talk about. But, maybe just something this year. I just think maybe to the Denver weekend, I thought that was a really good example of, I thought we had a really good start. on the Saturday night game for the first period, and then obviously the game got postponed. So that's a really, kind of you're playing well, you're feeling good, everything's going well, then boom, you got to come back and now try to do it again, for the next day. And I was just really impressed with just how focused our guys were. I felt comfortable in our game plan and just the way the guys executed. So, and then we had we had to travel home that night. So that's just a really nice feeling when the guys have really performed well. It was a big win. You get to go for a really nice dinner after the game, and then we had to fly home that night. And so those are moments you gotta. I remember Kemper was on the trip, and we were kind of sitting there, and those are moments you really want to cherish because those wins don't come all the time, and just for how well the guys played, and I think you're rewarded with the win and just all that thing. A really nice meal after, and to travel back. So I think that was something that I really tried to soak in and just really enjoy because that was a special night.
All right, fellas.
I think we got to shout out Brian Suslow too for the master class of director of hockey ops that he put on in Denver. Having to, in the one night, having to cancel our flights for the next morning and switch them to the following night and set up the dinner. I told him you could do a case study on it. So yeah, we gotta shout out Brian
Special
Suslow.
shout out.
Yeah.
And he does some great work for you guys too on review.
He picked the restaurant. And did everything, and man, it was just everything worked out perfectly. So absolutely.
All right, fellas. Couple more questions for you guys, and then I'll hit the audience here back up. We'll start with Jesse. Jesse, what do you enjoy most about being a member of the Maverick hockey team?
Oh, that's a loaded question as well.
I guess we're just asking loaded questions to close this thing down.
I think one thing that sticks out to me this year is, like from years past, is just how much I enjoy coming to the rink every day. Just the guys we have on our team, our coaching staff, like. It's obviously hard work, and sometimes you don't want to go to the rink. Not every day's, you don't have the best mindset to go through what you have to go through. But just going to the rink, and then you got the first guy you see is Jimmy, like saying a stupid joke to you or something, and it kind of gets you smiling. And then you walk in, and then you see Simon smile, and you see all these guys that are just awesome people. It's just such a great place to come and get your work done every day. And it's just a place that, I've always thought, like, throughout this whole year that, if I came here earlier, I think I'd be a better hockey player. So the stuff we have going on here, the development, the conference we play on, the coaching staff we have, right down to our strength coach and our equipment manager and our, the training staff we have some great resources there. It's just a great place to become a better player and a person. And, I kind of, wish I was here earlier.
Dom, the last fan question to you, this coming from Michael. Were there any specific players or teams you looked up to as a young hockey player that you drew inspiration from?
Yeah, team-wise, I grew up a Columbus Blue Jackets fan growing up in Ohio. So I followed the Jackets all the time. Those were my first hockey games that I went to when I was younger. Like my dad and I would drive the 2.5 hours wherever to go catch a game once a year or so. So yeah, I watched the Jackets all the time. And then player wise, I always loved watching Nick Lidstrom. Great one. Yeah, great defenseman. Was one of those guys where, he was an anomaly. Like the way that he took care of the D zone and defended well, but then was also able to contribute so much offensively and win the Norris trophies and stuff. It was just it was a lot of fun to watch him when he was playing.
I'm actually going to extend this. I want the same question for both of you guys. That you guys, a player or team that you drew inspiration from as a young player. Go ahead, Coach.
Man, as a player, I really liked Phil Housley. I don't know if I think he might be the all-time American. Looking at Dom, the American defenseman there, probably a little bit. Too old for Dom to remember, but yeah, he played. My gramps coached for the Winnipeg Jets there at the end of his coaching career, and he played for them, and just really puck mover defenseman. Always had his head up, and very cerebral and smart. And so I always just really enjoyed watching him play when I was a kid.
What about you, Jesse?
I would say the team when I was young that I always looked up to was the Vancouver Giants. It was the big WHL team where I lived, and it always kind of seemed like those guys were just like the pinnacle of, the level of hockey they could play at the time. And being so young, it just seemed like so far away, and it was just like this amazing accomplishment. And then as you get older, you kind of realize, like, okay, look at all my friends like playing in this league and stuff. And so that was the one I kind of idolized growing up. And then for a player, being from Vancouver, Alex Burrows, He was a player that played with Daniel and Henrik Sedin. So I watched him probably 10 years growing up, and he was just a very good complementary player for those two really skilled players. And, he just worked so hard for them and made those two better. So I think that's who I would have to go with.
All right, we'll turn the attention to the audience in-house. Anybody have a question for the guys or coach? Go ahead. Just stand up. Shout it out for us.
Hi.
Nice.
Yeah, I would have said the same thing. So I know for me as a fan, the officiating the last couple games.
Did you guys see the beer got thrown on the ice?
Yeah, that was pretty
because
crazy.
Because of the ref. Sorry to interrupt.
Was that
I
you?
thought.
I think that guy's here tonight.
But I know it was kind of frustrating for us. So I mean, is it just the NCHC officiating that's a problem? Is it?
Tread carefully.
And nobody gets suspended.
Hot mic.
What are your thoughts on it?
You guys going to leave this up to
Do you guys
coach?
want this? Or?
Not a good time to get fined before Christmas break.
I mean, I can talk on it. Like I wouldn't necessarily say it's been bad officiating. Like, calls are going to go either way. And my last 4 years of playing college hockey prior, it's always the same thing. Like, you're not going to get perfect refs. Very seldomly, you won't really realize the refs are there, and that's when they're probably at their best. And it also depends on the teams too. Like, sometimes, you just play a clean game, and sometimes, like that St. Cloud weekend, obviously there's just so many calls that could go either way. And they have to do their best to make those calls. So it's very tricky for them, and sometimes you're on the right end of the call, and sometimes you're on the wrong end. So it's easy to get mad at them, but at the end of the day, like, we as players probably, we get upset, but the fans are probably more heated because it's harder to watch than actually play, in my opinion. So being a player, you kind of just roll with the punches, and you got to understand what's going on, and kind of let our coaches deal with the refs. And obviously we get heated with them, but at the end of the day, like, if they call a bad penalty or the goal that they called what seemed maybe it was goaltender interference, like, you just got to kind of roll with it and then go back out there. And it's kind of like a refocus mindset, like, whatever happens, like, let's just keep playing and we could respond right back. So I think that's kind of just how we deal with it.
Thank you for your question. Yeah. Anybody else? Go ahead, right here.
So looking at that second half schedule, which series you guys have marked on your calendar, like, this is the one that we're looking most forward to?
Okay, I'm going to say that one more time so we can hear it over the speakers and for the air. So the second half schedule, what series are you guys looking forward to most? And what was the second part of that?
That they're most looking forward to, that they think is going to make the impact.
That's going to make the impact in the second half.
Well, I think the easy answer is Arizona. That's I think the boys are pretty stoked to go out to Arizona. But I mean, that weekend is obviously super important. The out of conference games carry a lot of weight in the pairwise rankings that end up basically deciding the tournament. And so it'll be fun for us to go to Arizona, but it's also, I mean, it's a business trip for us. We got to go out there, and 2 big wins would do a lot for us in the pairwise rankings. And so that's one that's definitely, it's a fun trip, but it's high importance for us. And I mean, if I could say one other one, I'm pretty excited. I've never played in North Dakota, so
big series.
Yeah. So I've heard that we're in for a treat there. So
Omaha fans and UND fans get along really well.
Yeah, no, that's what I've come to figure out.
What about you guys? You guys want to chime in on, like, what series you think you're looking forward to most or making the big impact for the second half, Coach?
Yeah, I think Arizona. I think the next game. I think the next game for sure. I know it's a coach answer, but it's true. I mean, like, these guys know it. Every game is so important. So yeah, I think ASU is good. And I'll go back to the officiating question though.
Oh yeah, you want to chime in on this? I thought you just wanted to sit silent. That's why I moved on pretty quick from it.
Yeah, no. But you know what? It was a great answer by Jesse. You know what? We love when the fans. Quietly, I love when the fans get on the refs. So it's keep playing those replays, showing the fans. But yeah, you can't control them. And the one thing I do know in my coaching experience is the more angry I get with the officials, the worse we are in the penalty kill usually. So it's you got to try to show some emotional control and not let your players know you're rattled, or I think they can get rattled themselves. So like Jesse said, just kind of focus on the next play at hand there. But yeah, I think looking forward to ASU. I think it's gonna be a great trip. I think we're gonna have a lot of fans out there too, and so I think it's a great series to kick off the second half here.
So those interactions with the official, how explicit do they get on like a scale of 1 to 10 in those moments?
Yeah, you know what? Like sometimes I'll tell the players, hey, like you guys stay focused here. I might just get after these guys a little bit here. But no excuse for them, or vice versa. Sometimes you're calm. But again, I think you gotta, it's. You get to know these officials too. Sometimes the more angry you get, the worse it's going to be for you. Sometimes you got to talk to them at the right time. So it's a little bit psychological that you got to deal with these guys. But again, they're trying to do that, and they're trying to do the best they can. And I think besides a couple of things, I think they've been okay this season here. And but again, at the end of the day, they're trying to do their best, and our guys got to focus all their energy on playing. Jesse,
do you want to chime in on the game you're looking forward to before we move on to our next question?
Yeah, I honestly don't really look at the schedule or know who we're playing until probably the week of. So
my man, man.
Yeah, like I know, like if it's a Monday, we're playing whoever, Augustana, for out of conference this weekend, but I have no idea who the following weekend is. I usually ask someone like on the next Monday or something. I don't know. I don't really get too far ahead of myself. I don't really care who we're playing either. It's just kind of like, aside from the pre-scout, it's going to be about us and the things we do. So I don't get too caught up in like, oh my God, we get to go here. Like, oh, we have to go here. Blah blah blah. So it's just over the years, it's just it doesn't do you any good to be like, oh, like can't wait to play this game, and then you forget about the other two you're playing in front of you. So I just worry about the team we're playing that weekend, and then hopefully someone tells me the next Monday who we're playing the next. So
you guys must be happy though that you're not playing against each other anymore, though, right?
Yeah. No, I'm happy I'm not playing against him. That's what I was saying. When you're asking him about like his game and stuff, I was gonna chip in and say like, playing against him for the last couple of years is miserable. Like I would that's one of the weekends where I'd go and I'd look at the lineup and just like hoping that he was like suspended or something. Seriously, it sucks playing against him. And I've even had some buddies that I played with at Ohio State, the last couple of years who we've played against this year. And like they even texted me and they're like after we'll play them or something, they'll be like, yo, like how's Lansdell? Like it's gotta be so nice having him on your team. I'm like, it is. Like, it's so nice to, when I'm going back to retrieve a puck, not having him breathing down my neck, like that's it's a treat.
Relieving.
Yeah. What Jesse's been great in practice too. Like we have a couple of defensemen that like to overhandle the puck at times, and he doesn't kill them in practice, but he'll be right there, and it's like, yeah, that's what happens if you overhandle the puck, right? So he's been great for teaching guys to do the puck early too.
Oh, good. We had another hand right here. Do you want to ask your question still?
It's time of year that everyone's getting their year in review playlist. Curious, what's the top song on your?
Nice, good question.
The Spotify Wrapped.
Yeah. So the Spotify Wrapped, your top song on the year in review.
I got some real like kind of niche artists and stuff on there. I don't know. I'll throw a few out. Do you guys? This is a smaller one. My top artists and my top couple songs were from. Do you guys know Still Woozy? That's like he's like an indie. He's like a real small musician. I'm into like weird music. But then another one. Do you, anyone know Camp? Camp it's like a folk kind of country band. Camp, and then Tyler Childers and Zach Bryan were up there too.
See, I know the last two.
Tyler Childers, yeah, like Follow You to Virgie was one of my top songs. I don't know if you guys know Follow You to Virgie. That's a good one by Tyler Childers. Trying to think some other ones. Sorry, I'm trying to get stand up. Yeah, I'm a big music guy. I love all types of music, and so. But
I'm probably the opposite. I don't have Spotify. I have Apple Music, but I barely use it. But one artist, probably mostly because Slippick is our DJ in our locker room. He loves Noah Kahan.
Yeah.
So we listened to
Stick
Season from him. It's the season of the sticks tonight.
It ruined the song, yeah. Noah Kahan's great, but Slippy's kind of ruined it for me because we played it over and over again. So yeah, Stick Season, I've probably, out of everything, I've listened to that song more than anything else.
I was thinking if there was like one song to remember like my year here at Omaha, it's Stick Season by Noah Kahan.
Stick Season,
or it's like all I can think of.
Or Hey Driver from Zach Bryan.
Yeah, one of those two. But Slippy's a big fan of them.
Yeah.
Coach, what about you? Do you have Spotify?
No. I don't have Spotify. I don't have Spotify.
Who do you listen to? Like if you're in the car, are you a talk show guy or a podcast?
Yeah, I like the podcast.
Okay, what would be like your most listened to podcast then?
I mean, no, I got.
Hopefully, Hurrdat Sports Radio.
Yeah, that's at number one. And I'm a big hockey psychology, all that stuff, right? That I like to listen to there. So nothing too exciting when I'm in the car. That usually the kids are giving me the latest song to listen to there. So not nothing too crazy.
What's the kid favorite song for you? Like when you get in the car, you're with the family.
I hold the button down, and they just say play. And they
you hold Siri down for car play. Is what you're telling me.
So they know the names. I'm not super familiar, but usually it's not bad actually. They're getting out of the kid songs and into some decent music. So
nice.
So it's good. But I love the guys. Like one of the things I like about our team is. We talk about it early in the year about respect for individual differences and just, not everybody's going to be the same on the team. And I love that. Like, I love the fact that, everybody's got their own niche and I hope can be themselves on the team. And I feel like we got a good guys that and everybody has their own unique personality, which I think makes it a lot of fun. So it's great to hear these guys' answers, yeah.
What about any other questions? We have one in the back right here. Go ahead, sir. And then we'll go right here at this table.
Just a quick follow-up to the rest, and then I have my question.
You're gonna get him going again.
It seems like, the ref on a face-off is like,
Oh, the drop the puck.
Yeah.
what is this as a
He's-
player at this point? What is the rule for those guys? Do they have to drop it a certain second, or are they waiting for you guys not to cross the red line to get too close? Why do they keep holding it? We're like, let's drop it.
Yeah, so they're allowed to give one warning per team. So they like to give those out, and then they drop it. Yeah, but again, the good officials for most of the time they should have a time clock. They should have the same routine where the puck goes down and boom, it's coming down. So they get everybody set. So those are frustrating on the centers when they overhang onto the puck there, but they want to make sure. It's a good fair face-off. So I think they've been trying to be really strict on that, and sometimes that results in the extended time before the puck gets down.
My observation of the teams, you guys are great on speed, great stick handling. I love the way you guys go back and chase on defense, right? When they're, when the other teams are packing, everyone's going back, stick checking. When Ohio State came in, they tried an intimidation, more of a bullying kind of style. That was a tough matchup for you guys. How do you guys contend against that? Because you might see that again, right? So, how do you guys think you'll match up, and how do you, get around that?
So essentially, that's a game plan question.
Yeah, sure. I think if you're placing a big physical team, right, you got to kind of know your opponent and do certain things that allow yourself a chance of success. So I think that's where we do a good job pre-scouting our opponents, and like you might play St. Cloud that's maybe a little bit lighter, quicker, faster, and you might have an Ohio State that's a little bit a heavier game. And so when you're playing teams like that, you want to be moving all the time. You want to, move on first touch. You want to move your feet. You want to move the puck and not allow them to kind of get you pasted against the boards and play their advantage. And the same way when you defend. You're defending big guys, you want to be in there quickly and maybe outnumber the opponent really quick so you're not having to take a guy on one-on-one that's maybe a bit bigger physically than you. So those are some strategies we'll use against big physical team.
Ma'am, we'll go right here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
So that was kind of like a hey, do this type of question.
It was a statement. That's a statement. Not even a
But
question.
I love the premise of the question. So when you guys are rich and famous, are you guys going to be ones that stiff the fan base or ones that give back?
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah.
Thanks for asking that.
It wasn't even an ask. That was just like a hard,
I love it.
But yeah, absolutely. I just, I think it's kind of, I don't know if it's paying it forward or paying it back, but either way, it's, I guess speak for myself. It's like I'm appreciative of the opportunity that I've been afforded here, and everything that it's brought me. And I think, giving back is, definitely.
I'm happy you said that because I got a jersey right here. Go ahead, Jesse. Are you same way?
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. Obviously, if I'm in that situation or in a good financial situation, I can do that, give back to the program, because obviously this program is a big big step in, wherever me and Dom and the rest of our team is going. Big part of our lives and our hockey career. So if in the situation where I can give back, it's definitely going to be something that I'll do.
Any other questions? Go ahead.
So, looking forward to the schedule, which tradition is your favorite that we have with Omaha hockey?
Favorite tradition with Omaha hockey?
You said it, right? That's the first one that came to my mind. My first game, I had no idea that we threw a fish. I was sitting there, I was dying laughing on the bench because this little buggy comes out ripping on the ice.
The mini-zam.
And then he rips the wheelie. I was sitting there, I thought that was the funniest thing ever. I was like, I couldn't believe it. But then it just smells like gas on the ice afterwards. Like, that's kind of bummer. But yeah, I think I love that. I thought it was hilarious.
I mean, yeah, that's I had no idea either. So the first time I saw it, I was like, what is going on?
The good news is it's not the same fish over and over. I found that out recently.
That's what I asked that. I was like,
I always thought it was the same fish.
Is this guy getting a new fish every single time?
No, there's more fish there in the freezer.
Wears out, but it is.
Right, yeah. Like if the fish is missing the head, you're not going to throw that fish out there. But there is more than one fish in the freezer.
There is reusing of the fish. Okay, all right. That's what I was going to say. That was kind of crazy if they're...
Yeah, by the time it needs to be thrown out, though, there's a backup fish.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what I meant by more than one. It's not like every game. Yeah.
Yeah,
so pretty crazy.
Good to know, yeah. Yeah, but I like the fish toss. I think it's fun.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I would say one more thing, just the UNO chants, like as they go like randomly throughout the game, especially in the third period when the games are tight. Those are pretty cool. Like just mid game, like maybe you're pretty tired on the bench, then you start hearing that. It's kind of like a big pick me up. So I think I probably speak for our whole team. It's a pretty cool experience and something that we can utilize to an advantage when we're playing teams.
Mm-hmm. Red Army does a nice job there. Mm-hmm. Coach, what about you?
You know what? That's funny, Jesse mentioned. That's one of my probably fondest memories as a player. I think it was in the Civic, and you just like the last couple of minutes, like you don't get tired. You don't get tired when the building's that loud and that electric. So that, like you said, the UNO chance gets going. It's another level, right? Your body just doesn't get tired. So it's definitely a huge advantage there, and I think that's a pretty cool feeling when you hear that. Whether it's maybe we're up by a goal or trying to tie it or trying to put a game away. I think that's pretty cool when the fans, the drums get going there with Red Army and the fans get going. It's a lot of juice for sure. All
right, I want to go behind me here just so I'm not missing anybody. Anybody back here have a question? We got a couple more minutes. Fan question right here.
I got a question for Coach. So obviously you have Coach Kemp here, and you follow Coach Blaze. Between the two of them, what has been your advice from them? Did Coach Blaze give you anything on the way out? And obviously Coach Kemp likes to talk. What do you get between the two of them? Where did you obviously think your own mindset and mentality for starting this program back?
Sure. Yeah, no, that's great. Well, obviously, just start with Coach Kemp, as he's was my coach when I played here, and then obviously he's around all the time and able to come on the road with us stuff. So he's obviously still heavily involved with the athletic department. So it's just been awesome to have a guy that kind of understands a little bit what you're going through as a coach, and really cares about the program and the players, and just always such a just presence around everybody and really trying to help out. So that's been great. And he's a great guy to, pick his brain too. Hey, what'd you see from up top after a game or in between games or on the road? So it's always nice to get his feedback. And usually he's pretty critical of everything, which is great, which is awesome. So he's been great. And then Coach Blaze, it was good. I got to spend a full year with him too. So you see what you learn from him and how he gives you good advice and feedback and how he operates. And he's obviously, he moved out of Omaha after, so I haven't seen him, as much since he left here and retired. But so it's been just tremendous to have those two guys obviously do a huge job paving the way for Omaha hockey here, and now to try to continue that tradition moving forward. So they've both been great influences on me.
Well, we appreciate all the questions, and that we kind of hit our mark here. Anything else before the second half, guys, that you guys would like to add? You guys good?
No, yeah, we're excited for the second half, and we're excited for the opportunity to showcase what we can do, and we're confident with what we have in the locker room, and we're excited to get back at it.
Coach, same?
Yeah, just again, thanks for all the support. Again, it's awesome. you know, it's funny when we recruit guys like Dom the first time around, and
See, it always goes back to it. They always find a way.
no, but you know, and Jesse and those guys, and you kind of explain Omaha and you explain what it's about, and just the fact we're such a big time hockey school and a hockey community, and I think it's awesome to hear them talk about that when they get here and see it firsthand. And you know, we got to keep finding ways to tell our story and keep letting more people know about that, because it's such a great experience, and we want to keep, you know, getting top guys like these two guys in our program. So we just want to thank everybody for their support and coming out, and looking forward to a big time second half.
Well, guys, first off, I want to say thank you for coming on tonight. We appreciate you being here. Can we give these guys a round of applause for sitting down and sticking through their break? When do you guys go home?
Tomorrow afternoon.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So you guys stayed specifically for this?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You guys are kings. Kings. All right. Well, we appreciate that. Yeah, let's get the UNO chant going. UNO.
Here we go. That's awesome.
Well, that is this edition of Mavericks All Access. We appreciate all the support here in venue and those of you that watch via the stream or the podcast. Annabelle Nausen will be back in the chair next time for the show. We'll see you then.
Nice.